plus size fashion, like, we're here to help, right?
We do that audio, didn't we?
Oh, you guys can't hear me. I'm going to say it one more time. Hey, I'm Marie Dene, the creator of The Curvy Fashionista. Welcome to Speaking of Curves, our plus size fashion Facebook Live series where we interview various plus size designers, business owners, influencers, people in the community that we need to support to kind of help get through this time, right? Our special guest today is Miss ShawnDenise, and she is a designer who is actually born and raised in Decatur, where's greater, here in Georgia. But as you guys are tuning in, do me a favor, make sure you say hello, make sure you let us know where you're tuning in from, and if you have friends that are looking for some really bold, dynamic, exciting plus size fashion pieces, make sure you share this Facebook Live so that they can join us, right? So they can get to know the designer behind Painted by ShawnDenise. So do me a favor and let's welcome Miss ShawnDenise. Hello, Shawn.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Everyone. I'm doing wonderful.
Well,
Yourself?
thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Like, it's so exciting to have you. I think we've been chatting on Facebook for some years now, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes,
we didn't even know that we lived down the street from each other.
Right.
Like, both you and I be stuck at home, huh?
Yes. Always at the house, but I'm a workaholic for a reason, so it's okay.
And honey, your clothes, like, show us why. Because you've
Thank
got
you.
some
Thank
bold,
you.
fun
Thank you.
pieces. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your brand. Like, how long have you been designing? Like, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, just a little bit. I'm a graduate of Tennessee State University. Born in Atlanta, raised in Decatur. I lived all over the Southeast region, and during that period of traveling with my job, I realized that I really wanted to be a fashion designer. So in 2013, I was actually living in Albany, Georgia. I decided to create my own plus size line. I'm a self-taught seamstress, designer,
Oh,
everything.
wow.
Everything I pretty much just kind of either learned on my own or watching YouTube. And one of the things that I noticed back then was there wasn't a lot of color and there weren't a lot of statement and detailed pieces. And so that's pretty much what I wanted to do. I'm very artistic. I love designing from clothing to pretty much anything. I just love design. But I wanted to make sure that my collection, that you had a little bit of detail in some of my work, something that you could not find anywhere else. So that was pretty much the core of why I became a designer and what I wanted people to see when they saw my clothing.
All right, so bold is, I keep referencing bold because you talked about, like, you didn't see a lot of color. Like, the second that you go onto your site, you see blues and purples and reds and animal prints and watercolor painting colors and patterns.
Yes.
And that's exciting because you're right. You know, oftentimes, like, you know, for the longest time, it was like black, navy, brown, and maybe white,
Right.
maybe.
Right.
And so,
Right.
go ahead.
Even now, you go into a store, you know, they have these seasonal colors. And then those are the colors that you shop, and you may get a pair of pants in black or a top in blue. But I wanted each collection to represent those colors, but the end point is that you would be able to walk into a Paint by ShawnDenise store and pick out a red blazer or a purple blazer or a green blazer, an array of shades and colors, because I just don't believe that I should be confined to just these seasonal colors. If I want to wear red, let me wear red. If I want to wear orange, let me wear orange. So that was the basics behind Paint by ShawnDenise. Is you can paint yourself in any color that you want to.
And so, for those who are just tuning in, we're here with ShawnDenise from her collection, Paint by ShawnDenise,
Okay.
which is perfectly, like, apropos, like paint, color. So if
Yes.
you are looking for playful, bold designs, contemporary fashions, this is where you want to check out. This is where you want to go. If you I had someone, DVAT said that they wouldn't be able to stay on long but wanted to know the designer. No worries. This will be in a replay, and we will also have an article attached to this later on today that you can kind of peek through some of our favorite finds from the site, and that you'll be able to go directly to her site to learn more. So we've got a couple of different ways for you to stay connected even after our Facebook Live. Really quick, want to say a shout out to some people who said hello. We've got Tawana, Natalie, Rachel. She's from South Texas. We've got South Texas in house. We've got Alexis. Texas. Alexis Coffee Girl says she's checking in from Decatur, where it's Greater Georgia.
Yes.
So, hey, girl. We've got Ruth tuning in from New York. We've got Jill Alexander. Hey, babe. Tuning in from LA, from the West Coast. So as you guys are just tuning in, we are here with Paint by ShawnDenise, a plus-size designer who's local here to Georgia. And we're getting to know, we're sharing with you a little bit about her line, about her collection, and how and why it's important to support our small business owners. So for you, how have you been impacted? How has this impacted? We talked a little bit about this before we went live, but how have you been impacted so far?
Oh gosh, I definitely had 3 fashion shows planned in March and 2 in April that didn't happen. So that delayed the collection that I'm getting ready to release next Friday, because it was like, how do you release it? I sympathize with everything that's going on. I think today 36 million people lost their jobs. So my initial reaction was, I don't think people are buying clothes too much right now. There's so much going on. But after I've watched everything play out, I just kind of motivated myself to say, hey, you have to keep going, because yes, some people have lost their job, but there are people like myself, because I still work my 9 to 5, but there are people like myself who are still employed and who still want fun fashion and statement pieces. So it's definitely been a learning experience for me, but I've been trying to push forward and just keep going to go ahead and release the collection now and just see what happens.
As you should. And I think what's important is, like, when we talk about, like, folks like you, like, our small business, our designers, our indie designers, they're the ones who foster and create innovation and show these buyers and major retailers the things that we want to see. And it kind of helps set the tone for, bucking the system, so to speak, right? Challenging what they think that we want to wear. What has been probably one of your most surprising best sellers of your collection that you can never have enough of?
This is funny. My bestseller last year was this green maxi, open split maxi skirt that influenced some Michael Award. And it's I laugh when you ask that, because before I sent it to her, I said, Michael, I don't think this looks good. Nobody's going to like this. And she said, are you crazy? This is gorgeous. And I said, I don't really know. And the piece sold out within about 4 hours.
Oh.
So one thing that I also have learned through this journey is stop second guessing myself.
Yes.
Because I'm so hard on myself. Like, I don't know how this will look, and it ended up being the bestseller. So that's why I said, whatever I do, I'm just going to go ahead and release and let the chips fall. But definitely that piece. I mean, I restocked, and then I was still sold out within the day of restocking. I mean, everyone loves the open split maxi skirts. I love them too. They go with anything. I'm wearing a maxi skirt right now. I know you guys can't see it, but they go with everything. They're so relaxing. I just love them. Absolutely love them.
And so, we're always here for a good twirl maxi skirt. Always. Yes. Always here for that. So, what is coming out new for you? And, you talk about you're dropping your collection on next week, Friday. Hopefully, maybe we can get some of them images before you drop so that we can tease. I'm just saying. But what is this new collection all about, darling?
So the first part was the leopard print, and then I'm doing a little bit more leopard print, but I'm playing with the yellow and black, and I love the yellow and black accent colors along with the leopard print. So it's a continuation of the first part of Paw Patrol, the spring collection, and this is the second part, another 5 looks. I love all of them, and what I love the most about this collection is you can mix and match all of the looks with each other.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I actually didn't do that on purpose, but when it came out and I started styling, I said, man, everything matches. So it's very, and I love that too, is that everything matches with each other. All the collections for the most part.
That's awesome. And like one of the things I think for me, I'm a big, like, I want to be able to wear one item like 5 different ways, 5 different occasions. Like, I need my pieces to give me options, to give me variety. Right. And, you know, I want, you know, because for me, I dress for my mood. Like, right. I don't dress for, like, I dress to how I'm feeling. So if I'm feeling dramatic, then I want to feel dramatic. If I am feeling playful and sexy, I want something that'll give me that. So it's right. Definitely exciting to see, because some of the pictures that you have shown, like, there's so much confidence that oozes in Zinga, Whitney, like, they are giving us life in all of these images, dude. Like, they are giving us so much life, and especially in these like animal prints. I'm excited about what's to come and how the next kind of collection, I guess, part 2 of Paw Patrol. So what is your size range?
My size range is from 12 to 34.
Oh, amen.
So a lot of the bottoms and everything are size 12 to 34, and the tops run from size 1 to 6, which a 1 is like a size 12, 14.
Nice.
But yeah, I've worked on that size range for a while because I would do fashion shows and I would dress models, and it just didn't seem like it extended long enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I want this to extend long enough, because when I'm on the runway, I'm getting ready for fashion shows, I want a size 12, I want a 14, I want a 20, I want a 28, I want a 34 on the runway, so that everybody can see this is for all of these different body types and heights, because I'm short. But all of these different heights, body types, everything. You can wear a long maxi skirt and be 5'4", or be 5'10". It just doesn't matter. So that was important to me, very important to me, to make sure that every size was represented in the brand.
And that's beautiful, because a lot of brands right now, like, when they're showcasing their pieces, like, everyone for the longest time tended to stop at a 24. And now we're getting pushed back to 28. And now we're getting some brands that are doing a 32. So for you to bring in a 34, like, you are really breaking that mold and really being inclusive to what we have available. Like, you know, especially making plus size fashion accessible beyond, you know, just the traditional 14 to 24.
Right.
So I appreciate that.
Go ahead. Thank you. It was very important. One of my models, she's really the reason, Tanika, really the reason why I went to a 34. Because we were dressing for a fashion show, and I felt bad. I'm like, I should have something for you to wear.
Aww.
And so, because I don't have anything for you to wear, that means that there are plenty of people out here, like the model, you know, who are looking for designers. So that was very crucial, was to make sure that you go to a 34. Everybody should have something to wear.
So we just posted up some pictures, and we're posting up as we're talking. So you can continue to talk, but we're dropping in a couple of teasing of the images of what's available in the collection, so that folks know, like, what you offer and what they can expect. So you can't see it right now, right? You can't see it right now, but they're popping up. So as you guys are seeing different images, make sure you give hearts to the images that you like, so that, you know, when she comes back and looks at it, she can see what people are really loving the most. And just to kind of give an idea of her aesthetic. Now, this yellow top that the girl is wearing in your pictures, is this what you have on?
It is.
Okay. Aww.
This is one of my babies. It's actually not a part of the collection. This is a shirt I think I made 3 or 4 years ago, actually. And I brought it to the photo shoot, and I just put it on her, and it looked really, really good with the pleated flirt skirt. What she's doesn't have is my custom belting. I do custom belting myself.
Wait, hold on, pause. What is custom belting?
Well, the custom belting that I do, I wish I could show you, but it's pretty much, I wanted to find a way to put elastic or to make things adjustable without using so much elastic in my garments. So I came up with this system, and I call it my custom belting, that I can put in, and I put my own little belt in there that I hand make everything. And that way, when you buy the pleated fur skirt or some of my skirts, you buy the size up, and when you adjust it, it looks so gorgeous, how smooth it flows down. But that way, if you were to lose weight, you can still wear your skirt. So then, and of course, like everything doesn't have elastic in it. Elastic, of course, the more you wash it, of course, it can melt and everything. But I just wanted to give a more stylish look to it without so much elastic, and that's why I came up with the belting system. And I use it in some of my skirts and in some of my tops too.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Get it, girl. I'm impressed. So what other details, what other small details in the collection can we pay attention to? Like, that you give that's like the ShawnDenise, like, touch?
The ruffles that I do, I'm not trying to say this in any type of way, but most ruffles, when people do it, they kind of lay flat. And then, like I said, this shirt is 3 years old. The ruffles that I do now, they flow. I mean, just sitting still, it just moves. When the wind starts blowing, it moves. It doesn't lay flat on the chest. I just want you to have that flow and elegance when you're walking or sway. And I wanted to make sure that my ruffles didn't just lay kind of flat on the chest, that they moved every time you sway or when you walk, just to give it that silhouette and that sexiness.
That gone with the wind. Fabulous.
That gone with the wind swing. I can't swing any hair, but swinging hair just sway.
Okay.
And that was the idea and the image that I saw when I started doing ruffles. And I do them in a design way that they come in panels. And the more panels you have, the more flow you have in the ruffles. And so that's something that I think once people get used to my brand, they start seeing, they're like, oh, that's flowing a little too much. That must be Paint by ShawnDenise. So that's what I'm hoping to come out from that.
Got it. And so, what is something that you haven't made yet that you want to make, or that you've seen and you're like, how can I make this mine? Like, what's something that you really want to tackle?
I definitely want to get into gowns more.
Okay.
But more so detailed gowns. I did draw or illustrate a collection maybe a year or so ago, but the detailing is so insane. I can't do it by myself. I make everything now by myself. I don't have a team that helps me manufacture the clothing. I sew, design, make all the patterns. So hopefully at some point when I'm able to build a team, that collection, to bring it to life so everyone can see it. I mean, it's so heavily detailed, but doing gowns and doing more detailed work and just stuff that you normally would not see out there, especially for a plus size fashion.
So I'm going to challenge you. Because I don't know about y'all listening in, but we want to see this, and you deserve it to yourself to take that sketch. And this may also help you become more resourceful in finding like an expert beater or a lace maker, or to expand your resources. So you've been challenged.
Okay.
I'm pushing you out of your comfort zone, because I'll surely be like, girl, where's this dress? Okay.
Right.
You know, like, don't, like, this is, you know, like, for us, like, if anything that I think that I've learned through, like, especially now is, like, we've slowed down, but it's also made us more introspective and looking at our goals, like, our real desires and dreams and motivations, and really helped us, like, really push ourselves, because we don't want to be stuck at the, I wonder what if. It's like, girl, it's now or never. So for you, because you're not going to just start the dress tomorrow. Like, you can design it. You can, design it. You can, then you can resource it. So then you can then map out backwards. Like, if, I want a gown to go live by Black Friday for the holiday season, because, you know, just in case. And then, you know, you go from there. Because I'm sure somebody's wearing a gown on their Instagram Live, if not.
Right. Right.
They gonna go to the grocery store in their little fancy dresses. I'm just saying. They
will. They definitely will.
So you've been challenged.
Okay.
And we have it documented. We've got folks here. Jill said, yes, do it. We want to see. Emma was like, challenge extended. I mean, so you've got folks here who are going to help hold you accountable, because that's how we grow. You may realize in making gowns that you may have an epiphany and different types of dresses and variations that are watered down, like a diffusion of that gown for every day where it may come into play. Right? So
right.
you have the ability, and you know, I think you got this. I'm just saying.
Yes, ma'am, I agree.
I'm just saying, ma'am.
Definitely when I am able to hire more seamstresses and beaters and everything underneath, it's a go. I'm ready. I'm definitely ready mentally, let me say that. But it's definitely a process. But my goal is to open a manufacturing company, not only sewing my stuff, but sew for other designers as well.
That's beautiful.
I've been asked a lot of times, you know, can you help me with this, or can you help me establish or draw this pattern or write a pattern out? And I have worked with people just to kind of help them out, because I do understand as a new designer, especially when you're manufacturing everything that you do, it's time consuming. Mass production is hard. It's time consuming. And if I could be give any advice to somebody that's new, I try my best to try to say, hey, this is the process, or read this book, because there is a book on it that is just brilliant. Read this book and go from there. But the goal is to manufacture fully, not only just my clothing line, but the other brands that I plan to bring on as well, and for other people.
You said other brands, like that you launching, or other brands that you're just supporting through your production?
Oh no, that I plan on launching.
Ooh.
I'm working on the men's line, big and tall, big or tall. And I say big or tall because one of the feedback that I get from men is that, hey, I'm short. I need pants with a certain inseam, but I'm also 44 inches in the waist. So big or tall men's line that I'm definitely working on. I want to do home decor.
Come with it.
My daughter, yes, I have two daughters, and one of them she is going to be a fashion designer. That's all that she talks about doing, and so she wants to do a children's line. So I have a lot of things that I'm working on.
You have a family of brands ready to go.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay.
And so I've kind of done a little research here and there, and we not put out samples, but I've done samples for those collections. I just kind of haven't said too much about them. But
so we got the exclusive.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So hopefully those collections will be coming out. Definitely the men's, hopefully end of next year is the goal.
Okay. Well, first of all, congrats on that. Because
Thank you.
Those are, it's funny because this is the time where I have like 3 other ideas outside of the Curvy Fashionista that I'm getting ready to try to line up to launch. And then, then I have other ideas within the brand that I'm like, okay, this is what we need to pivot, how we need to pivot. Because for me, we were going to have our TCFX in LA this summer, but that's been changed.
Right.
And, who knows what December is going to look like? That's our anniversary month. I wanted to finally have an anniversary party in Atlanta.
Right.
Who knows what's going to happen? Like, for you, what has probably been your biggest, aha or eye-opening experience in this time?
To be completely honest, I was really surprised that people were still shopping. Because even for me, I've received orders during this whole thing, and so that changed my mindset too. Because normally I go into a sympathize mode, I guess you can say, where I'm just like, oh man, this is so. But I realized that with everything going on, I lost a college classmate to COVID, and I've had family members that have been sick. So with everything that's going on, you still have to live. You still have to continue. Our goals have to still be met. We still have to figure out a way to proceed and go on. And so that was the biggest thing for me, is figuring out, well, what do I do now? Everything has pretty much changed. The way we used to live, the things that we used to do has changed. I wanted to do a pop-up shop. I was supposed to do one in April. And now I'm thinking well, how do you do pop-up shops now? I don't want to, although I have a non-contact temperature, I don't know what it's called exactly, but I don't want to check people's temperature every time they come to a pop-up shop. But this is the reality of what we're living in right now.
I know what you can do, Shawn. I know what you can do. I'm going to pause you. So we need to have a Painted by ShawnDenise Instagram Live pop-up shop. So are your daughters plus?
Not really.
Because I'm saying they can fit a sample. But basically, you figure out either you put it on a mannequin, or you have a display it all pretty. You can have Instagram Live deals, right? Specials that are just for today. And you showcase and you do that. Do a little QVC Instagram situation.
I love it.
And boom.
I love it.
And you number
a great idea.
You number each item, and then when people, the first person to comment, then you'll DM them and pay this as much or whatever, and then you ship it off. I don't know all the intricacies of that, but something like that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I have plenty of mannequins, so I can definitely do something like that. Yes, I love it.
There we go. You say plenty. How many mannequins you got? Can you part with one? Because I totally want a mannequin.
I think I have 4 mannequins. They're not the ones that have the legs. They're just the torso.
That's okay.
That's okay.
We'll talk. Okay. We'll talk later.
Okay.
Right. So as you've gone through these realizations, and now you've been challenged. I've challenged you, and I've given you an idea.
Okay.
Right. So we have some follow-ups to go on, or to go through after this. What is something that you feel like you probably wouldn't have done if not for this?
If not for everything that's going on
in the world right now.
I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So I had the shows and everything for April, which of course I was disappointed because I was rolling out the second half of the collection. But I always believe that God always sends a sign, or he sends a message, or there are certain things that happen. You always end up where you need to be. So even though I was thoroughly disappointed about those fashion shows, at the same time, it was not the time for me to do those shows.
Okay.
And I feel like when they come back later this year or next year, that the timing and everything will be aligned, that I don't have to worry about it. It gave me a second chance to kind of just take everything in and breathe, but I don't have too many regrets or anything that I would change because everything aligns when it's all said and done.
That is so beautiful. Like, I literally got a little teary-eyed, I'm not going to say. Like, you just kind of, some of the things you just said right there were, like, just really resonated, like, right here. It resonated right here. Like, for me, I realized that a lot of the things that I have sometimes minimized myself or played down, like, my ideas and thoughts. I've been scared sometimes. And if anything, like, this time has actually allowed for me to map out all of the dreams and goals that I do have and set into motion those to make them happen. Because I'm, forced to sit. Like, there's no, like, constant, like, churning of the content as much. It's, like, thoughtful, like, slow down and really about kind of pouring and receiving. And so, like, these times, like, listening to various business owners, like, for me, it is nothing but inspiring and motivating. So I thank you for your words, and I thank you for, like, you're so zen right now. Like, you're so centered and zen. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, but I appreciate you. I really do.
No problem.
I really do. So do me a favor, tell everyone how they can reach you, and where they can follow you.
Yes, everything is Paint by ShawnDenise, and Shawn is ShaWN. So it's at Paint by ShawnDenise on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube.
Okay.
For my personal, it's Shawn_Denise, and you can find me on Instagram and on Facebook. My website, if you want to purchase anything, is www.paintbyshawndenise.com. And like I said, the new collection is coming within a week.
Oh, this is exciting. I can't wait to see. Oh, I'm so excited for you. Well, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. So Jill Alexander said amen to you. Emma said amen to you. So, like, your words have really just resonated with quite a few of the people who are watching today. So thank you for that.
No.
For those of you guys who are tuning in, thank you so much for joining us today. We will be back on Tuesday. We have all of our guests booked up for the whole month. And I'm so excited because we've got everything from other designers, boutique owners, influencers, lingerie brands. Like, we've got it. So just make sure you guys always stay tuned. Make sure you hit the notifications so that you never miss anything. And until Tuesday, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.